So this is the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, the top tier phone from Samsung. But is it worth to spend all this money on this phone? Let's find that out after the intro. So what's up? It's always me, Johnny, and today we are gonna talk about this new S21 Ultra that I recently bought to just test it a little bit because I've never tried a top tier phone from Samsung. I just had one Samsung in my life and it was the Galaxy S, so the first model of the Galaxy S generation, and it was good, but after that I didn't actually really bought any other Samsung phone. So I have this one since like a few days. I've played with it a bit. This is not a full review because I don't know too much about the phone. I'm just gonna tell you more in more videos about this phone. And this is just, a first impression because I was curious about why this phone is priced like so high, like the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's around the same price, at least here where I live. And actually, as I saw around the internet, they are like kinda the same phone. I mean, one has Apple environment, one is Samsung, so Android, but they're kind of similar. But anyway, I will tell you what are my first impression on this phone, and I'm starting by telling you that this new design from Samsung, this camera bump right here in the backside, I like it more than the older one, than the S20, because the S20 is just kind of similar to other Android phones and it's not very particular. And also the color, the full matte black, is really cool. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful smartphones that I had. I know that they spent like several minutes on the presentation on this phone just for the color. I mean, it's great, but I don't know, maybe too much enthusiasm on this color. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So actually the main difference in design from this to the normal S21 and S21 Plus, it's just this one have the periscope camera right here. And actually the S21 and the S21 Plus, they don't have the laser right here for the focus, for the instant focus. And they don't have the 10x camera right here for the zoom. That is actually pretty cool, but we are gonna talk about that later. So the build quality on this phone feel like sturdy. It's pretty compact, it's pretty premium. You can feel that just when you hold it in your hand. And actually now that I'm used to like Chinese phone that will send you the phone with the at least a cover or a bumper or something, but Samsung doesn't do that. So actually it feels good to hold the phone without cover, and especially if it's this one because it's pretty handy. It's a little bit too much smooth in your hand, so it may be a little bit slippery in your hand, so be careful to that. And actually, as the top tier phones do right now, is the rounded screen, because on the top phones we have like rounded edges on the screen and we don't have the flat screen. I don't know why. Personally, I prefer like a flat screen. I don't know, it's just a personal feeling, but if you are looking for a good looking phone or a good looking design, I can see that the rounded phone gives you a little bit that more premium feeling, and it gives you to the phone that slender look. Then actually talking about the screen itself, this is a panel with a 2K resolution and it runs also at 120 Hz with adaptive refresh rate. Actually it helps to just reduce the impact on phone because 120 Hz screen is just very battery hungry, so this new function is very helpful in that case. We have that resolution and that refresh rate only on the Ultra model, because on the normal S21 we just have another panel with 1080p and 120 Hz refresh rate, but we don't get the 2K panel. As you know already, the Samsung screen are just one of the best in the smartphone world. This actually doesn't make any difference. I mean, I think this one is just the best screen on the market right now. It's big enough. I mean, this phone is big. If you're searching for a small phone or maybe a normal size phone, this isn't for you because this is pretty big and also a little bit heavy. So the screen is really good. The color are just a little bit too much saturated, like Samsung always do. You can just set it up. You can choose for a natural color, but it feels like a little bit washed out. And so I just prefer to leave it what it is right now, a little bit more vivid, but this is a personal choice, so you can choose that and you can just customize as you like it. So talking about that 2K resolution and that refresh rate, we have to talk about battery life. This one has a battery of 5000 milliampere. The battery is pretty big, that's why the phone is that heavy and that big, but I don't think the battery is really good. I mean, this is not a battery phone for sure, because if you have checked my previous videos, you know that I already own a Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro and it has the same battery, so 5000 milliampere, and they are like very different phones, because with the Xiaomi I can just do like around 2 days with one charge, so a full charge, and with this I can just do a little less than, I think, 1 day, one full day. So I don't know what is consuming that much battery. I don't know if it's the screen, the resolution, or maybe I don't know, something else, maybe some apps inside, but the phone is new, so I don't have that many apps installed in my phone, so I don't know what it is. And also, you know, Chinese phone, they usually kills apps if you leave them in background, so it maybe can be that, but I don't know. I was used to a different battery life, so with this one I felt like a little bit constricted on that field. So talking about that battery life, one thing that mostly affects the duration of the battery is actually the CPU and the GPU. So this one have the Exynos 2100, and I know that the past Exynos, I mean, they were like garbage. So if you compare it to the Snapdragon model, and this one is pretty good. I mean, it can handle a comparison between this and the Snapdragon, but it's actually, I think, it's not the same level. I mean, I've seen some tests on YouTube, because I don't have the other model with the Snapdragon, and I cannot buy that, so I cannot try that. And I've seen different tests that compare that Snapdragon to this Exynos, and as I was saying, it is very good. I mean, it's not last year Exynos, but of course it isn't optimized like the Snapdragon. I mean, if you buy a phone with a Snapdragon, they have like a lot of years of experience, so they are getting better and better. And so I know with this one Samsung just did a big leap forward, but for me it's not at the same level of the Snapdragon 888, and this will of course affect the battery life, because sometimes it's getting like very warm, and actually if you search for some tests online, you can see that this CPU throttles a bit and it doesn't give you like big performance. If you want another video on this argument in specific, I can do that. I mean, I can just research online something and I can just make a video on this, but for now I'm just gonna tell you that this is my first impression. Keep in mind that. So I repeat, if you want a full video on that, just let me know down in the comments and I will do that. But for now, I'm just gonna stick to that and I will just tell you those little things that I've noticed. Also, if you want some more info on battery life, I will keep you updated maybe in another videos or maybe in the comments on this video, because for now, I know that the Samsung software is just studying my habits of using this phone, and so the software will just adapt to my usage. I think with the time the battery life will increase just a little bit, nothing special, but if there are like major changes, and also you know that this is a new phone, so maybe it just needs some updates, and so we will wait to that, of course, and I will keep you updated maybe here in the comments, or maybe I will do another video. Make sure to subscribe right now to this channel so you won't miss those videos. Actually, one more thing about the battery, then I will change topic, and this is the charger, so the charging time. So with this S21 you will not get any charger unless you live maybe here like me in Italy. I just ordered this from Amazon and they give you a charger. It's original from Samsung and is actually this one right here that I just showed in my previous video that you can check right here in the unboxing. And this is a 25-watt charger, so it is not too much, because if you consider now the smartphone world, I think they can do like a little bit more, because if you think maybe Xiaomi that presented his phones with a 120-watt charger, that I think is like a size of a laptop, and Samsung is still giving you, I mean, they don't give you this, but if you buy a Samsung charger, you will get this one, and it is like a 25-watt charger. I think it's very slow, in specific if you talk about charging a phone like this one, because as I said before, this is a 5000 milliampere battery. I think with the super fast charging, you can charge this phone in, I think, more than an hour. But for example, with my last phone, so the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro, I had a 33 watts charger. They have also another technology to charge the phone because they split the batteries in two, and it was just very fast. I think from 0 to 100 it takes like maybe 30 or 40 minutes. I mean, this isn't very slow, but it's actually not so fast. You have to consider that for now there is like OnePlus that they have their fast charge, and it is great. I think it's called the Dash Charge. And also Oppo, that is the same charging technique because it is the same company. And so I think that Samsung, they have to do something on this topic. Then one personal thing that I don't like very much is the Samsung UI. I mean, I don't like the Samsung Android version. It feels like a little bit slow because I'm used to very fast phones, and this one is not one of that, but it feels solid. I mean, it doesn't crash, it doesn't have any problems. And I understand that if you buy like a first phone, and if you buy a Samsung, I know this is an easy phone, like you have a similar iPhone experience. I mean, it's pretty easy to use and you don't have any problems of optimization, of killing apps in the background and stuff like that. So one more thing that I forgot about performance. I have the model with the 12 gigs of RAM and actually 128 gigs of storage. But if you get, I believe it's the 256 gig of storage, you get 16 gigs of RAM. I don't know who used that because I think that 8 gigabytes of RAM are just enough for a phone. But who knows, maybe there is a way to fill up 16 gigs of RAM in a phone, but I'm not aware of that. Also, Samsung with this S21 Ultra, they added a special case and an S Pen that you can buy and just pair up with your phone. It's not a Bluetooth pen, so it's not like the Note 20 Ultra that gives you like some more feature with the pen, but I'm not that type of guy that uses a pen on the phone. But if someone is interested, you can buy that, but the price is, I think, a little bit too high. I don't know why, but I repeat, I'm not interested to that, so I don't care actually. Then last thing that I want to talk about is actually the camera stuff right here. So they have some big cameras, that's why this big camera bump. I will tell you just a few things about the camera because I will do for sure a video in specific on that, because as you may know, maybe you have watched some other videos in this channel, I am a videographer and photographer also, so I will try that for sure, and maybe I will compare it to another phone or maybe this camera too, and we will see that. It will be very interesting, like I did before with my old phone. And so for now, I'm gonna tell you that the camera, they are very good. As I said at the beginning of the video, we have the 10x module that is actually very useful because not so many camera today are just getting the zoom capabilities, and that much zoom, I think it's very useful because the phone, it's the only tool that you have always in your pocket. So it gives you like a little bit more of flexibility when you talk about cameras, because you can use everything right here because you have pretty much every angle, so from the super wide to 10x, and also of course with the periscope camera system you can just go up to 100x of zoom. 100x zoom is just not too much of a gimmick for selling this phone, because I mean, if you have to do a photo for Instagram or something like that, it's just garbage. I mean, there is so much noise and just not so many details in the photo. But actually, if you need to take a pic like of the moon, something very far, that actually it doesn't need to be so sharp and so detailed, it actually helps. You have the chance to use that. Of course, it's always better to have it than don't have it and then you just want to use it. But I will talk about that in another videos for sure. Also, if you are interested in zoom cameras, this one until like 30x, it just gives you a good amount of details. So if you have to take photos from super wide angle to 30x, they're just good. Then from 30x to 100, they're just getting worse and worse, but not so garbage. Then under the screen, we have like a supersonic fingerprint reader. It's like bigger than the older model. It's actually very good. I had a phone in the past with the optic fingerprint reader under the screen, and the supersonic one is just way better. I mean, this is very, very fast, and the sensor actually doesn't miss like too many times. I mean, I've just used this phone for a few days, so for now it didn't miss any of my unlocks. So for my first impression, I think I've talked too much. As I said, I will make other videos on this phone because it's very interesting. If I have to answer for now to my first question, that is why this phone is priced so high and why you have to get it, I cannot answer. I mean, it's still for me a too high price phone. The cameras are good, but I don't know if they are making spend you like that much. I mean, it's more than 100 euros here. It's like a price of a very good laptop. I mean, it's almost the price of the MacBook Pro that I've made some videos about. For now, I'm just gonna tell you that it's a good phone, price aside, and we will test it more in the next videos. So make sure to subscribe right now to this channel if you haven't already, and if you liked this video, just hit the like button. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye for now.